Hey everyone, welcome to episode 43 of the Tiny Disc Podcast, a show about games and life. I am Robert Scarpanito, and I'm joined here by the beautiful Jack Spada.
Hey buddy, how are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you for asking. And I'm also joined by the tea-sipping Colin Sparling.
Welcome to our ongoing midlife crisis here at the Tiny Disc Podcast. Being number 43. How many more episodes do we have in our midlife crisis? What's the cutoff point for a midlife crisis?
I don't think there is one until like you die.
Later 50s, right? Goes to like from mid 40s to like late 50s. I don't know, somewhere in there, I would think.
I mean, midlife implies it's during your life, right?
Yeah, the middle part.
Yeah, the middle part of your, I don't know. I'm thinking like, I usually think like 35 to like 50.
35.
30 or 35 to like 50.
Okay.
55.
It's a little
I just
early.
live every day of my life like it's a crisis, and then, you know.
every day is a midlife crisis for me. Hi, me IRL.
More like existential crisis for me.
So I know it's cliche to say, but things are bigger down here. And I can say that because I grew up in the Midwest and now I have a point of comparison. But I know it's an audio show podcast, but seriously, guys, look at these grapes. Do they look huge to you? Or is it just me?
I can't really tell unless you put it next to like a banana or something.
These grapes are massive, dude. I'm going to eat
Are
some
those
right now.
plums?
I know. I'm going to eat some on the podcast. I'm sorry.
Unprofessional. Yeah,
The
okay.
grapes are huge down here and they're awesome, but they're expensive too. It's like $8 a pack, like a giant like.
Wait,
I don't know,
like
box of grapes.
produce? Produce is really expensive there?
No, produce is pretty cheap. But I'm
Oh.
saying these really nice giant grapes are expensive.
Are there also like giant apples, oranges, bananas?
Yeah, like Asian pears and shit with the little styrofoam sleeve.
Ooh, those are good though.
Do the giant peaches come with a dude named James?
Oof.
Haven't seen that yet though. But the avocados and the wine down here is super, super cheap.
Oh,
Avocados are really cheap down
is
here.
the wine big?
Really?
Yeah. The wine,
Wait.
I mean, it can be, but wine is normal wine, but I mean, it's like half the price, literally.
Do they grow avocados locally there? Is that why they're so cheap?
I mean, Mexico's right here, so
Oh, yeah,
that's
shit.
probably what it is.
Hey guys, I'm great at geography. How you doing?
But you would think that Ohio has like, you know, all the food sources around. I mean, that's all the corn, right, in the country, basically.
I mean,
Iowa
what-
and Ohio. But
Iowa. I was thinking Idaho.
yeah,
That's potatoes.
But produce is like, I don't know. Produce is more expensive up there. I don't know. You think in the heartland it'd be cheaper, but it's actually way
yeah,
cheaper
it's like
down here.
what, $2 a pop for a freaking avocado? It's
And
ridiculous.
I've never seen. I'll show you again. I've never seen grapes this huge in my life.
That's
More grapes, sorry.
That's what she said.
I got the grapes.
I heard through the grapevine that Jack's got the grapes.
So yeah.
It's good stuff.
So okay, sorry guys. I know it's gross from eating on a podcast, but I went to somewhere not very fun this Saturday.
The DMV?
Disneyland?
Oh.
I probably would rather go to the DMV, believe it or not, because at least I could have like my earbuds and my podcast in peace and sit there and wait politely. But I had to go to the dentist for some serious dental work. I hate the dentist, and I hate the dentist, so I'd never go. Of course, I brush my teeth and floss, right? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But I just hate going, and I had to go though because it's been too long. It's been like 10 years, basically.
It's been 10 years since you last went
It's
to the
been
dentist.
a long time. I mean, so I went, that's kind of a lie. I went to get my wisdom teeth pulled out because I absolutely had to, but I waited till like the last possible moment. So I got my wisdom teeth out like 2 or 3 years ago. But before then, it was like 10, 8, 9 years. And now it's like, I hate going. I don't like going.
Yeah, it's
Plus,
been it's been 2 years for me though, and I feel kind of uncomfortable. Like I kind of hate myself for not going.
Plus, I didn't have dental insurance, which was a big motivating factor to not go as well. So why would I spend all that money when I don't have it anyways? So anyways, now I got dental insurance, right? I go and they're like, yeah, you got some cavities.
From all the big grapes you've been eating?
Yeah, all these giant grapes. And they're like, yeah, you got some cavities and we're going to have to fill them. And I was like, I don't want to do that. I mean, I want it done, but I don't want to like be conscious at all. Can you guys knock me out? And they're like, no, we don't do that here. If we put you under, that's like the most dangerous thing to do in all of dentistry. This is what they told me. And I'm like, so what? I'm just going to be conscious? And they're like, no, we're going to give you oral sedation. basic roofie basically, and we're gonna give you the nitrous oxide. Is that the laughing gas?
I'm not sure.
That sounds right to me.
$300 for just that. That's not even the fillings.
Is that out of your pocket or is that covered?
Yeah, it's out of my pocket to begin with, and then I have to submit it for reimbursal. So it's inconvenient to say the least. And I'm like, yeah, give me that. Give me all of that. I don't want to be here when you're doing what you got to, doing your dark business in my mouth. Oh, that sounds real bad.
No, yeah, you don't want to be there when you do the dark business.
There's a guy inside the mouth to be like, hey, yo, I got your cavity feelings here, and like opens up a trench coat,
What are you buying?
You guys on a side note, you guys ever seen the movie Ozzy and Drix growing up?
Never.
What?
It's an animated film that all takes place within Bill Murray's body. If you haven't heard of it, that sounds really crazy, but Google it.
Sounds good.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's great, but it's exactly shit like that. It's like, yo, like, you want to go to the Zit later? They're having a party, and there's a literal Zit on Bill Murray's face, and it's a fucking nightclub.
Oh my god. Do they do dark stuff in his mouth?
Oh no.
I mean, he puts an egg in his mouth, and it's really gross.
Eggs are delicious. Okay, let me circle back, please. Oh my gosh, don't get me too off the trains. So, cool thing about this place, though, they have Netflix on a TV on the ceiling. So as you're laying back, you can watch Netflix.
Oh, nice.
And like whatever you want. And so they give me the oral sedation. They're like, get here an hour early. You have to sit here and take this pill. And it's going to take about 45 minutes to an hour to work. They gave me 2 of them. And I'm like, look, I'm nearly 300 pounds. Are you sure I don't need any more? I'm a big guy.
And then
and they go, no, this will be good. 45 minutes later, I'm watching, something on Netflix. They're like, are you feeling anything? And I'm like, I could do my SATs right now. So they bring in more drugs. And they get sick. They basically get sick of waiting, and my show's over. And I'm like, "Can you turn on this thing called Terrace House?"
Is this an elaborate ploy to convert more people to watch Terrace House?
No, I mean, hey, that can never hurt. But no, I'm seriously like, hey, let's. I mean, I already watched it, but I'm like, yeah, I'm down to watch you die. While I'm getting my cavity filled. So they turn on Terrace House, and they start giving me the nitrous oxide and like in my nose. And I'm like thinking to myself, like, yeah, I don't feel nothing. And then I like blink and I feel the pressure and I can feel them like giving me shots in my mouth. And I like blink and then I wake up and they're kind of like done already. And I'm like, whoa. Like, I didn't even think they started yet officially. And I felt a little bit of pressure, but nothing really else. And I didn't really remember the TV show either, like happening, but it was already over. And I go, was I asleep? And they go, well, you were snoring. I was like, damn. And it just went by like so fast, right? And so a couple weird things happened. I was totally messed up and I could not feel my entire lower jaw or my tongue. It was the weirdest shit ever. Like touching a part of your body and you cannot feel it, but your hands can feel it, but the part of your body can't feel it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You feel like you're touching someone else's body. It's weird. And so I don't know. This is I want to make sure I'm not skipping anything here. So I see her. So I take a selfie of myself apparently, and I don't even remember doing it until like yesterday, like days later.
Didn't send it to us? What the fuck,
look
man?
In my phone, and I'm like, oh, I guess I was taking selfies of myself when I was drunk up. And it's
we're making
dude.
your selfie the thumbnail for this episode.
It's creepy when you see a selfie and you don't remember it. You know what I mean? That's a weird thing. I don't normally get blackout drunk during the weekend, but I imagine that's probably what that feels like. So I do remember, though, that my dentist, the woman, she kept turning around and laughing her ass off at Terrace House.
Oh my god!
Which I mean,
and
it's fair.
She's like, what show? And keep in mind, it's subtitled. And she goes, what show is this? And I started telling her a little bit about it. And she goes, oh, well, I lived in Japan for like 5 years, something like that. So like, I understand everything they're saying.
Oh, what?
That's
crazy.
And she kept like turning around, like laughing. And I'm like, hold on, like, get this thing out of my mouth first, So it was really funny. And I think I converted someone to Terrace House. So she'd never heard of it before. And she was like cracking up. And she's a really straight-laced lady, too. I never see her smile, ironically, since she's a dentist. But
that's hilarious.
So that happened. And then, so what do I want to do afterwards? I want to go eat. I'm starving. We go to this place that actually, believe it or not, is a much better version of Chipotle. It's called Cabo Bob's. And there's only 2 here in Texas. They just built one by my house, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. So psyched for it. It's so good that I went to a wedding last summer, and the wedding had Cabo Bob's cater it. That's how good this place is.
Yo.
And it's cheap too. Anyways, I go. I'm looking forward to it. I don't feel like I'm like high on these drugs, but I can't feel anything in my mouth at all. And I basically start eating this burrito, and my wife is sitting to me like, stop. And I'm like, what? And she's like, you're biting your lip. She's like, you're biting your lip. And like, there's like a little dribble of blood coming down. Because I can't feel nothing, but I'm hungry. And so I'm like biting my own lip, like tearing into it, dude. And so I had all these scabs there in the corner.
Lip taste?
And I couldn't feel my tongue either. So like the whole sides of my tongue were like, raw from like biting them over and over again and not feeling it.
So you couldn't even taste what you were eating anyway.
And I could taste it tasted good, what I remember. But it was like all in the name of this burrito. All in the name of this burrito, I'm like destroying my mouth like unknowingly. And so it took a while, but like it was weird too because only one side of my mouth became like got its feeling back before the other. So it was super weird. So it all wore out probably about 4 hours or so. But there was like a period there for an hour, 45 minutes maybe, where I could only feel one side of my mouth than the other.
That's
weird.
Buck wild.
Yeah.
Now
okay.
Something I want to focus on here is like you're my friend. I care about your very uncomfortable experience.
Thank you.
But I'd like to point out, being a dentist and working on someone's mouth while they snore, like that can't be the best patient you've ever had.
I mean, they loaded me with drugs. They had to have known I was going to be out of the game.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of a given. They probably deal with that shit all the time.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, but I mean, I know
snore.
as a person, I couldn't, sit there and someone just going.
Yeah, and you have to go like into the belly of the
in their
beast.
mouth.
Like, you're going to the source almost. You know what I mean?
I wonder if it was loud or not. I wonder if like you could hear it like outside of the room. I don't know.
Oh, and that noise, by the way, I just made. That is no exaggeration what my dad sounds like snoring.
I'm sure, yeah.
Hear that, Papa Sparling? Put on blast.
He listens to the show too. Hi, Dad.
Oh, nice. I look forward to meeting you one day, sir. So, yeah. So then what's the next natural thing you do after burrito? Well, we went fucking furniture shopping.
I locked myself in the bathroom.
Did you leave another salty Google review?
There was no. I went to this furniture store. It's super nice, guys. Like, I've never been to a furniture store like this. This is like the IKEA for billionaires, not millionaires. Like, chairs there are like one chair is like multiple $1,000s. They showed me a French imported table that literally looked like it belonged to the Yakuza, and it was like $40K for one table. $40K.
Dan, did you walk in there and just like, you should have walked in there with like a fucking suit on, been like, so, and no, when I'm walking with some random dude off the street that you paid like $20 and he walks in, he's like, excuse me, sir, but my friend here, he just won the Jamaican lottery. No,
I'm really the only reason I was there is because they had this tent sale. It's like up to 75% off. I was like, well, we need to go because like, it was like kind of like do it today or don't do it ever. And I was like, well, we're in the neighborhood now. If I go home, I'm gonna go to sleep and not make this happen. So I'm going in there and I'm talking like, like I had a stroke or something like that because I can't feel my mouth. I'm not trying to make a joke, but that's kind
of how you felt.
I felt like, I was like, they probably think I can't talk, but whatever. So I was there to get a deal. But the best offer they could give me is like, oh, this chair is like $3,400. And I'm like, no, I'm going to go somewhere else. I'm not going to name any stores here because they're not sponsoring us, but I'm going to go to some other big box furniture place and get, like some decent chairs that are more my speed here. I don't need to spend that kind of money on recliners. So we ended up going across town and I ended up picking up some nice home theater furniture, the kind of like slick black leather chairs that have the lighted up cup holders and they recline and all that, and so they're getting delivered tomorrow and I'm so hype. I cannot wait. The living room is going to be finally finished.
So was that worth trying to negotiate prices through a bloody mouth?
Most of the negotiation was through text, but I even told the guy, look, I know sales, okay? I told the guy, like, look, I don't want to waste your time. I want to make this deal happen. I have a budget I have to stick to. This is it. I was like, if you can do this, which I acknowledge is a lot, but if you can do this, then let's talk. But if you cannot do this, then let's then let's table the discussion here. I don't want to waste anyone's time. That's what I want to hear, if I'm a salesperson. And maybe not what I want to hear, but I at least want to know, what their limits are. And then he like came back at me. He's like, you know what? Let's meet in the middle and you just pay $500 more than you wanted to pay. And I'm like, that's not meeting in the middle, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my God.
That's totally not meeting in the middle. Like,
yeah,
500 more. Like,
yeah, what kind of shit is that?
Yeah, I was like, bro, you shouldn't have called me. You're wasting your time.
I mean, I imagine this deal going down in person, and Jackson, they're trying to negotiate with the fucking like furniture guy in front of him, and Jackson was like, we can really make out a deal. Let's get this client. And meanwhile, the fucking furniture guy takes off his glasses and cleans the fucking blood splatter off his glasses, puts it back on.
It had to have been a scene. I was barely there, I was barely there mentally, but so ended up. Good.
Little does Jack know, he didn't actually go to furniture stores. These were two different Burger Kings around town.
Yeah, I was out of it. Yeah, no,
they were trying to sell you their plastic furniture off the floor.
trying to take home Burger King's tables and chairs.
This is fresh from the shores of Indonesia.
Yeah. So that was my Saturday.
That's a buck wild Saturday.
That's what I did. I ended up with some cool furniture though, or at least I will come tomorrow. I will post that to the gram.
Nice.
When I get them. So yeah.
And I'll have to tell my wisdom teeth story at a later date. It's pretty great.
Oh, I got
yeah.
Ooh.
I still have not had to get my wisdom teeth pulled, so I'm kind of like. Meh.
Do you feel like it'll be a thing?
No, I don't think so.
You got enough room?
Think so? Yeah.
You have naturally wide gums and a big jaw.
What was that yet, Colin?
Oh, I was saying, yeah, the dentist gave you the go-ahead, like you don't need it?
Think so, yeah. So I'm pretty good.
Damn. So does that mean you're extra wise or not wise enough?
I really am not sure. I didn't ask for explanations. I just wanted a yes or no from him.
Okay.
See, I'm only half wise. I'm only half wise. I only got 2 of them removed out of the 4. So, I mean, I guess you could call me half wise Gamgee or something, but.
Do you, nice. Are you going to get to keep all 4 or just 2 of them, Robert, or what?
I don't know. I haven't been to the dentist in 5 years, I'm going to be honest. So,
why are you slacking?
The dental hygiene on this show is not good enough.
What's your excuse?
My excuse?
What's everyone's excuse right now? What's everyone's fucking excuse for not going to the dentist?
I don't have dental insurance.
Okay. I don't have dental insurance.
Don't you have to go to college or just medical?
I was already enrolled, and my dad lost his job, so I don't have medical insurance. Not right now.
Okay.
And for me, I've always been confident in my teeth. I've never had to get braces, and I've got pretty straight teeth as they are, and I keep pretty good care of them. So I'm kind of like, whatever. And I just want to point out, thank you for listening to the Tiny Disc Podcast, where we start talking about our dental hygiene.
Yes.
So if you haven't been to the dentist in 5 years, tweet at us. Let us know the last time you were at the dentist and what your last dental experience was.
Well, I have an actual reason. I'm just not apathetic and lazy. Not that you guys are. I'm just saying I have an actual reason that I didn't go. And my reason was because, maybe I told you guys this, maybe it wasn't on the show, but when I was a freshman in high school, I had a really creepy dentist. So creepy that I didn't want to be left in a room with this guy.
Oh God, you had a phobia?
Of this particular dentist, and it just ruined me for dentists. Like he would always be like running. Listen, I know this sounds stupid, but he would be like touching my gums and stuff, and like massaging them and rubbing them and stuff, and like whatever. Okay, a dentist got to do what a dentist got to do, but the way he would talk to me while he's doing that really creeped me out, dude.
Oh God.
And like like my mom was in the room and stuff like that, But if I was ever left alone with the guy, I was like, don't leave me in a room with this dude. Because he would just be like, like, I swear, dude, I'm quoting this man. He'd be like, we love when you and your sister come in. And keep in mind, he's rubbing my gums while he's doing this. He's like, we just love when you guys come in just every time.
Oh, my God.
It's just so perfect.
Oh, my God.
We make sure people like you are like the last.
Stop. I'm going to have nightmares.
Listen,
please.
dude, he goes, we make sure people like you are like the last ones to close out the day so we can go home happy. And I'm just like, wow, like, get out of my fucking mouth, dude.
That sounds like an overtly mellow Donald Trump.
It was messed up. And I was like, I don't want to go back here. Like, I didn't like it. I didn't want to be like put under around the guy. I don't know. Look,
dude, I was waiting for him to tell you got a purdy mouth. Like,
purdy mouth. Yeah,
these are the softest.
You got a purdy mouth.
Oh my God, and your gums are fantastic. What kind of lotion do you use on your gums? Like, I use Sensodyne personally.
You ever wrestle naked? Like, yeah, dude. So that's my reason.
Tickling your tongue while he's saying that.
So that's So that's why I haven't been in like years, because it just scarred me, dude. So that's my legitimate excuse.
God, that's gross, but also that's really great.
Thanks. I'm glad my suffering can entertain you all in 2018 now.
Oh my god!
It all paid off. That's it.
There you go. So let's start talking about some games, shall we? We are a game show. So, Colin, do you want to start us off?
Oh man! Oh man! Oh man! Okay, where do I start? Okay, I'll start by saying that, guys, I'd like you to know that the PlayStation Vita is not dead yet. It is far from dead. Still getting great games on that system. And I've been giving my PlayStation Vita some love. All hail Vita Island.
Wait,
Ys Origin.
What? Oh.
Ys Origin. I've been playing Ys Origin. I picked up a copy last week from a local mom and pop game shop. They got a limited run copy.
Ooh.
Physical copy, which was multilingual, and it was like super exclusive, and he was only asking $40 for it, so I was like, take my money here, I'll take it. And by his recommendation, actually, he's like, Ys Origin is a fantastic game, like it's cool that you're buying this game because I want more people to play the Ys series. Now, what do you guys know about the Ys series? Any of you guys play them? Any of these games?
I know there are like 50 of them.
I know there's a really bomb-ass one on like TurboGrafx 16. And
that's where the original
like,
was. Yeah, that's where the original was released.
I know they make like one a year.
I mean, it's not that many. They've just been re-released a lot.
There's
they've
a ton
been,
of Ys games now.
They've been remade and remastered a whole bunch. I will say that. Well, Ys Origin is like a prequel to the entire series. And I don't know if you guys know what these games play like, but imagine like a top-down 2D Zelda game, but throw in JRPG elements and throw in like 5 times the enemies and make it like way more frantic.
Okay.
So yeah, so and then you get like magic abilities and things like that. So basically the idea is it's a super grindy action RPG, and you're sitting there just swinging an axe or like casting spells constantly, and there's a bunch of shit going, like almost like bullet hell shooter amounts of like craziness at points.
Is it still like top down, kind of like old school Zelda?
Yeah. It's like a 3D 2D I guess you call it 2.5D, like perspective sort of thing. That's what's going on. It's got like 3D backgrounds with kind of 2D pre-rendered sprites. The game is just a ridiculous amount of fun. I mean, most of the time you're basically just smashing square and hitting circle every once in a while to do your special attacks and just a wide variety of enemies, and each level is like, they're just the right amount of challenging. Like, you know, you never feel like you have to like grind too much. There's a little bit of grinding, but every time you hit a boss, that's when the difficulty really steps up though. So like you get to a boss, and that's the point where you're like, man, I might need to grind a little bit more because these bosses will fucking kick your ass. Next thing you know, like you'd be dropping dead, game over. Well, looks like I got to go grind some more. But they make it super easy because the enemies respawn like right outside the door.
You can't, okay, so you can't like just skip that boss and come back?
You can come back, but like, yeah, you can't like progress any further without beating that boss.
So it's definitely like a gateway.
Yeah, for sure. And so like, but that's not a problem though, because the gameplay loop is like super fun. It's one of those games where you could probably put on a podcast like in the background and kind of listen to, kind of like not mindlessly really, but kind of half listen, have to pay attention to what's going on.
A podcast like the Tiny Disc podcast.
Podcast. Tiny Disc podcast, everybody.
Whoa.
Yeah, but no, highly recommend the E-series, man. The story seems to be pretty interesting. It's like this really grandiose story about, and I don't fully understand it because like I'm not super far, but it has to do with like the priests of Ys, and like they took off in this like mothership after the world was taken over by demons essentially. But then your job is to like come back down and try to take back that part of the world, which is the land of Ys. But the cool thing about this, the levels in this game is it all takes place in this one giant tower, and the game is you progressing up these different levels of this tower, and every level has like its own unique theme or like terrain.
Wait, you're liberating a land, but you're only fighting in a tower?
Yeah, it has to do with some oh my gosh, I'm just now remembering. Yeah, so you're basically there to like recover 2 goddesses that are like trapped inside the tower. That's the main reason you're there, because they can bring balance back to the world. Yeah, it just like came to me right off the bat. But That's the main reason why you're there. And but I don't know, the level I'm in right now is actually an underwater level, but it's a bearable underwater level, which you don't hear a lot about because every time you hear someone talk about shitty levels in games, it's usually the underwater levels. Right.
Thanks, Sonic.
Yeah, Water Temple in just about every Zelda game.
Got
no
PTSD
thanks.
because of that.
Yeah, no shit. Why can't they just make them right? I don't understand. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just really enjoying the game, and it's available on PC, PS Vita, PS4, and it was developed by Arc System Works, BTW.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Huh.
Yes, and published by Atlas. Atlas? No, Falcom, excuse me.
Falcom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never even heard of Falcom.
Pretty popular Japanese publisher.
Okay.
You could probably find a lot of your favorite games published by them. Like, wouldn't be surprising.
Okay.
So,
But yeah,
cool.
use Origin. And then I've also been playing, well, to give VR some love, I've been playing Resident Evil 7.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah, boy.
snap. The whole game or just the demo?
So I picked up Resident Evil 7, the Gold Edition.
Oh.
I got a sick deal on it at GameStop, actually, for once. Yeah, it was like $25 for the Gold Edition at
The disc?
GameStop. It wasn't?
New?
Yeah, the disc. Yeah.
New?
Yeah.
Not bad. Not bad.
New.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the whole game and the DLC, and yeah, holy shit, the game is terrifying, guys.
Dude, is this the first time you've done it in VR?
Yeah.
I have gotten I'm sorry, I'll cut in and cut out here. I
good.
have gotten so much mileage out of just the free demo the first hour. Every time I've said this before on the show, but every time someone comes over and wants to try out VR, that's what I make them play, just to watch them suffer.
Wait, is the beginning hour demo in VR as well?
Yeah, it's VR.
Oh, okay. Because I know there's the kitchen VR demo that you can play, which comes on like the disc that comes with your VR headset or whatever. I didn't know you could play the actual like regular demo that everyone else got.
I mean,
yeah,
they
you can play
built
the first hour.
Yeah, they built that whole game for VR.
Right.
Oh,
Well, that's pretty cool. Dude, it's like the first couple hours, like I didn't start out playing in VR instantly because I kind of wanted to ease myself into it because I'm not like a big first-person survival horror guy. I don't know what it is about survival horror games in first person in particular. I think it's because it puts you right in the action. That's the reason it scares the shit out of me, as opposed to like your Dead Spaces or your other Resident Evil games that are in third person. I can play those all day, like knowing I get a big blammy giant gun that I can kill things with. Not really that scary. But when you put things in your face like they do in Resident Evil 7, my God. Yeah,
dude.
I wanna know, how far are you right now?
I just made it to the yard. Like I got out of the house
Oh fuck.
and into the yard.
Dude, I don't know if it's
Yeah.
old age or what is happening to me, but I've just become such a wussifer when it comes to horror games anymore. I played like Silent Hill 4, Silent Hill 1, Silent Hill 2. You know, I played all the Resident Evils, like all the way up through 4. I loved horror games, and they never really truly scared me. They like kept me on edge a little bit, but I treated them more like action games than anything. But I don't know what it is, man. But with that Silent Hill, right? Remember that demo, which is like one of the
PT,
scariest.
of course. Never forget
PT. That and Resident Evil 4. I'm just like, I'm probably just not gonna. I'm just like, I'm good, I think. I don't think I need to do these things.
I don't
Listen,
know. I think you're missing out with RE7 though.
Dude, RE7, listen, I'm a bitch when it comes to survival horror games. Play Resident Evil 7, do yourself. Like, it's a great game so
So
far
good.
from what I've played. It's great. It takes everything you loved about the original Resident Evil and just threw it in first person.
Yeah.
And made it way scarier. So the first couple hours of the game, from what I'm hearing, is probably the most horrifying. And oh my God, Mia just scares the ever living shit.
No spoilers, no
I don't know.
spoilers. I'm not saying I'll never play it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll agree though that like the first few hours are definitely where it's like the scariest. After that, you get kind of used to everything.
After the house opens up.
I would say like after you get halfway through the second house, that's when you're kind of like, okay, I'm into this.
Oh, there's
Yeah,
a second house.
like-
Spoilers. Okay.
I just got to the part with like the insects and shit, and like
yeah, that.
yeah, and I was like, like it's kind of giving me some like Resident Evil Revelations vibe, which wasn't a bad game, but it's like it was a little bit more far fetched with the way they approached like creatures and all that. But the parts inside the house with like the monsters and the Baker family and stuff. Let me tell you what. That grandma that just kind of like randomly shows up places.
Dude,
Fuck.
spoilers, stop it.
The fuck? No, like you see her,
like they're not major spoil. I mean, come on.
No,
Right.
you see her very early on.
Yikes.
And yeah, just I don't know. I don't want to spoil too much for Jack, but there were some moments in that game. And then when I finally put VR on, I'm like, I wonder how is VR really going to be that good in this game? I put it on, and you're fucking there, bro. Like you are there.
It is terrifying.
So
It is
what's
truly scary.
What's it like when you get hit by stuff in that game? Because I know, like, non-VR, your screen shakes a lot. You're, like, moving around like, oh, man, I got hit. Oh.
So it keeps it relatively focused from what I recall. But, like, you have your, like, floaty arms in front of you. Like, your arms are in front of you, obviously, and you're, like, moving the gun around. And, like, when you get attacked and stuff, like, they still go into, like, the animation with the arms and stuff. It's just kind of more in front of you since you have the VR headset on.
Okay.
I also forgot, is that PSVR exclusive still?
I think so.
Because when it comes out on Vive, that's going to be the way to play with tracking and everything.
Right. I was actually surprised, like, how good the resolution and stuff was on PS4. Like, I was pleasantly surprised in how good it looked in the VR headset, because I thought it was going to dramatically change performance, but it didn't. It really didn't. Like, it wasn't too bad.
Did you go down to the basement?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
That part is, like, part was so
crap.
difficult. Yeah. That part was ridiculous.
I mean, it is the killer app for VR. It is the proof.
Wait, you're talking about at the beginning, right? Where you get you get the hole in the door, like the hole in the wall, and then you go down in the basement. Yeah.
Fuck that whole thing.
That part where you're like underneath the rafters of the house, and then that dead body pops up in front of you. Yeah, that got me. That got me pretty good. Like,
that got me.
Yeah, there were some moments. There's a straight like Grudge-esque moment that I won't divulge, but like it's. Woo! I can't. My little heart can't handle it. I can only take so much of that game in VR at a time.
So, are you playing like at home alone in the dark?
When I was doing VR, I was alone.
Wow.
Just coincidentally, and I was like, I don't know if I could. Like, I would need someone to bear witness to my death in case that happened.
Yeah,
my heart attack.
like, how could you play that alone? Like, do you have like a steel colon? Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I was barely holding on, dude. Like, I'm not sitting here like, oh yeah, I was trucking through. No, I was sitting there trembling in my shorts like a fucking chihuahua. Like,
the shorts from sixth grade.
Oh yeah, those shorts from sixth grade.
Right.
Yeah, and then I might have had to change my underwear just 3 times. I think. Mm-hmm. I think I'm at 3.
The last time I felt this scared playing a game, I was playing Manhunt, the original Manhunt by Rockstar, on PS2 with the headset on and the microphone sensitivity cranked all the way up.
Yikes!
Because if you made any noises sneaking around, they would hear you.
Right.
And that was like
what? That was a thing. That was like the.
That's absolutely a thing. Yeah, that was like when like the SOCOM and SOCOM 2 were out, and like the headset was a thing, and so you could plug it in and you could like say like hey and get their attention to come around a corner or whatever. Kind of the equivalent of throwing a rock in Far Cry. And but also if you cranked it all the way up and you turned like the difficulty all the way to the highest, they were like really lethal basically. And if you so much as breathed too hard, they would find you. So you had to really control like your heart rate and your and just everything, because you could not make a peep, man. It was really, really tense. But yeah, that was a thing. That was a way to play that game.
That's some shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, Resident Evil 7, man, it's what a cohesive horror experience, and they do so much with such a small space of like level design in that game. It was great. Also, the Jack boss battle. Fuck that boss battle.
Which one?
The last one.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Yeah, I think it took me like 7 tries.
Yeah,
8 tries.
I can't wait.
Good.
I just want to say I can't wait till you like get to the end and just like see what happens at the end, because it's really good. It's a great story, I think.
Okay.
So I just want a yes or no.
Okay.
Is there an enemy or a boss or whatever in Resident Evil 7, yes or no, that is basically a giant, terrifying head face thing coming out of a wall?
Yes.
Fuck. Can you imagine that VR,
why that
dude?
specifically?
Huh?
Why that specifically?
Because I thought I saw it like real quick, and then it terrified me, and I turned it off, and I've been thinking about it ever since. It sounds so scary.
Does it keep you up at night?
Was it scary?
No, the way
Really?
they do it, you're kind of like, you kind of feel like fucking I could punch a boulder in half right now. Let's go.
See,
Well, dude, I mean, like, every time you heal, I don't know if you see how you heal in that game, Jack, but you just pour fucking alcohol on your arm.
Yeah, you
Like,
pour
that's
some
how you
heal juice on your hands and you're good.
Yeah, you just
Okay, no, so
I'm good.
Is it heal the pain from your childhood? Is that what this is?
No, okay, there's a scene in the beginning of the game when like when they're still trying to teach you how to play the game, like you roam around the house and Jack is like hunting for you, right? And when he catches you, he just kind of like smacks you around until you die, right? The first time he does it, since like you're still learning the game, so Colin, you might not have had this happen if you're.
I know what you're getting at.
Okay, yeah. So when he catches you the first time, and this is like your first time that you're like really free to do whatever you want, he like cuts the bottom of your leg off with the shovel.
Oh.
And then toys with your leg, and then he teaches you how to heal yourself. And like the button appears where it's like press right bumper or whatever to heal yourself, and you're like you have to crawl to your leg in first person, and then like hold your leg up to your stump and pour juice over it, and it's just okay now. And
All right.
And your character is like, how the fuck does that work?
Yeah, he's like, no, yeah, because you're sitting there, he's just like, because Jack's like, come on, you can do it, Ethan, and you're crawling towards your leg. You pick up your leg, you pick up the juice, and then you just like stuffs it on there, and he just pours the juice on. It's like, what the fuck?
That's so funny.
And then next thing you know, you're walking, and you just hear.
Yeah.
Like your legs just like squid. Oh, it's so gross.
It's pretty
Wow.
The
great.
sound design in that game is incredible.
Yeah,
though
it
the sound
is.
design is top notch.
And the PSVR with the 3D sound effect. Yeah.
Oh my
it's
god, ridiculous.
So immersive.
Yeah, but yeah, Resident Evil 7. If you haven't played it yet, go play it. It's great.
Colin, have you been playing anything else, or are you good?
Oh my boys! Yesterday was the release of, in case you haven't heard me talk about it enough, Yakuza 6, and I know Lil Robert over here is getting he's losing his Yakuza virginity with Yakuza
yeah.
6.
Oh, that's your first one?
Yeah, I've
Oh,
never
yeah.
played a Yakuza game before this. I've never
I didn't realize.
understood the hype of it or anything,
Now he does.
but I get it. It's so good. It's so good.
I played a bit of Yakuza 0 and I can't wait to get back in. So yeah, I'm with you.
Yakuza 6, so they made a brand new graphics engine walking into Yakuza 6 called the Dragon Engine, because Yakuza 0 and Yakuza Kiwami used the whatever engine they were using before, which was actually an engine built for the PS3 originally, and they were just upscaling it for the PS4. This whole new Dragon Engine looks incredible. Like the facial animations during cutscenes are stupid.
Yeah,
like
it's crazy.
And this is the first game with the engine?
yeah, and so the animations just look so real. And I know they actually, so there's a couple of the characters that are actually like real actors from Japan, and they just scanned in their likeness. And so they had them actually do like mocap for their own characters and stuff. So like all the facial animations, it's like sitting there watching someone talk across from you. It's crazy, and the lighting is super amazing, and the cutscenes are so cinematic. It's literally watching a movie.
yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah. That's
Crazy.
the one thing I was surprised about is that I didn't expect. Like, if you had told me, hey, Sega makes a game that's about Japanese gangsters, I'd be like, that's cool. I would have never expected it to be as cinematic and as good at storytelling as it is, because like, holy crap, dude. It's like I'm into the story, and it's so like I've been watching this show called Jane the Virgin, which is basically like telenovela but like in English. So like there's always a twist at every corner, and this story pretty much feels the same way, where there's like always more dramatic shit happening. Like it's just added on and on and on.
In the and that's what I was talking about before with the other games. Even though the game is in another language, you can tell the acting is just fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, the voice
Yeah,
acting stands out so well.
Oh yeah, like the part, and this is on the back of the box, so this isn't spoilers. The part where Kiryu like finds out about like Haruka's accident,
Yeah,
and like he's standing there with Date-san, and I forget the other dude's name. Hanjo, was it
I thought it
Hanjo?
was Akiyama.
No, it was when he was in he meets the baby.
Right. I
Yeah,
don't remember.
Haruto.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, that part was just like you could absolutely tell by his facial animations, by the way he was talking, that he was absolutely like heartbroken over it. And he's like, I'm gonna find and kill the motherfucker that like did this. Like, yeah, total like vendetta. Yeah,
And I have to say, I like 1000% get the hard on for Kiryu, because like, dude, he's so cool. Like,
oh yeah, he is.
like basically his entire arc in this game is that he's like kind of old now, like he's like older middle age, like late 40s. So everyone's like, what can an old man do? And then like you fucking deck their shit. Like you're dead. It's, like that's basically every interaction is like you're doing something, some thugs come up and they're like, stop, like I hate you, you're old, whatever. And like Kiryu's like, you better stop. Like I like just don't stop messing with this. And you just beat their shit.
How old is Jackie Chan about now?
Oh,
he's pretty old.
He's like 60.
He's like 60 something.
He was like on the front page of Reddit just yesterday or so, like doing a disarming move. Have you seen that? This guy like came at him with like this long handled blade or whatever, and he like totally disarmed him and like turned the blade on him in like half a second. It was incredible.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
I'm convinced Jackie Chan is hardly human. So
Same.
Dude, he's so awesome.
But,
I mean, he's half made of metal now with all the broken bones he has.
Yeah. He's a cyborg.
He's literally one of my favorite people probably of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 100%.
And I think Kiryu's kind of like in that same vein right now, where he's old, but he can fucking do anything you need him to. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, and like it's so funny. Like at the beginning of the game, where the dude's like, let's take this outside, Kazuma, or whatever. He's like, dude, you don't want to do this right now. Like,
yeah, he's like,
I don't have time for this.
I don't have time to waste on this. Like, I don't have as much free time as you do to pick fights. And it's like, dude, you're fucking brutal. And like his voice actor fits him so well, both when he's like super serious and like, don't make me kill you, but then also when he's like being silly and having fun and singing karaoke and stuff, like it's great. Oh, yeah. Like I'm a huge fan. And so what I did when I got this game, I actually bought a PS4 Pro for it because it was kind of stuttery on the normal PS4.
Oh,
but
wow.
On the Pro, it's 30 FPS, but it's smooth and it's
nice. Butter smooth. Yeah.
So let me ask you, Robert. So you bought the game and then you played it on your regular PlayStation 4.
Yep.
And then you're like, fuck this, and you graduated to the Pro.
Yep.
Because of the performance of that game specifically. I mean, other games, but mainly that.
Mainly that, but then also I know I'm getting God of War because that comes out soon, and I'm like, I'm going to be spending a lot of time on my PS4 soon.
Yep. I'm with you. I know that's why I'm also excited for these chairs to come in because like God of War is this Friday, and that's all I'm going to be doing.
Get hype, boys.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know how much you've explored Kamurocho, Colin, but I just want to point out like my favorite.
I mean, I've explored it a bunch, like twice now, because I played 2 other games.
But in this game, though,
right.
My favorite fucking mini game so far that I've found is it comes through this side quest where you're like walking down the street and a girl breaks up with this guy because he spends
the live chat one.
Yeah, live chat. He spends more time on live chat, like basically chatting with girls who like strip on camera rather than like with his girlfriend. And after his girlfriend breaks up with him, at first he's sad, but then he's like, he looks at you and he's like, I should teach you live chat because you're going to enjoy it as much as I will.
That's really funny, actually.
Kiryu's like, live chat.
Yeah, and while he's teaching you, like you're, you know, like Kiryu doesn't know how to use computers, right?
Yeah.
So like he still types with the 2 fingers, like you know, 1 finger in each hand, and just like one keystroke at a time. So the mini game is you watching a video of this girl being like, oh, I don't know, I mean, like it's getting hot in here, and then like a chat room with a bunch of other horny nerds, and then you having a QTE event where you have to press the face buttons like in a certain order for him to type out stuff like you're beautiful, but there's a little video of him with like his stubby fingers like, going down and pressing keystroke after keystroke, and after you finish a phrase, he's so proud of himself. He's like, yosh. It's like so good.
Wow, that's hilarious.
Dude, that game puts me in tears. Oh.
The sense of humor in the game is probably the biggest draw for me.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Just the craziness of it.
Have you found the Kitty Cat Cafe yet?
Oh yeah, Nyan Cafe.
Yeah, Nyan Cafe.
Yeah, so now it's like this persistent mini quest all around the world where there are homeless cats and you have to feed them.
Wow.
This game is top tier. And what I will tell you, Robert, is like now that you really get into the series, that level of quality, even though the graphics aren't quite as good, that level of quality in terms of story and in terms of like camera angles, lighting, and all that stuff is consistent throughout. Like, it's not like they did it up special for this one. No, that's like that's a consistent quality thing throughout the game.
See, unlike you, I don't think I'm going to go back and play through all of the Yakuzas just because one has gotten to me. But, I mean, I'm into this one so far. Yakuza 6 is definitely a really great game that I'm a fan of.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and there is a lot of, like, great quality of life things that they've done in this game, too. Like, in other games, believe it or not, you cannot place a waypoint marker on the map.
I mean, that's fine. I kind of don't anyway.
I mean, there is some things, though, where it's like, shit, where am I going? Oh, I've gone the wrong direction this entire time. So it's a nice thing. And then before, like, now you just walk into a building, you just kind of, like, walk in. There's no loading screen or anything like that, and you just do your thing and then leave. See, in the other game, like, if you walked into, like a convenience store or wherever else, loading every single time in and out. So it got, like, really arduous.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying.
Yeah, but I think the biggest omission in this game for me is that there's no selecting different fighting styles. Because in Kiwami, you had 4 different fighting styles.
What?
Yeah, and you had to change them up according to who you were fighting.
That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, so it puts a layer of strategy into the game that's not there quite in Yakuza 6. So they've kind of streamlined it, and it's not that it's kind of like a fusion between all the other fighting styles you played in the other games. But in this game, it's like, I don't know. I think it's almost overly simplified. Not that it's bad. It's just it's not as difficult. There's not that layer of strategy there.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, like, the game does still get hard, though. Like, especially when you're fighting bosses.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
yeah,
they could wreck your shit. But the combat is super fun. Like,
it's ridiculous.
So satisfying to, like, do special heat moves on enemies. Like, my favorite one I've seen is, if you bring someone up to a giant pole, you, like, angle them. Like, you lift them up over your head and you angle them, so you throw them into the pole crotch first. And I'm just like, I want to do that all the time. And I just recently got a heat move that only activates when you have chopsticks in your hands, where you essentially grab someone's hand with the chopsticks.
Oh, I thought you were going to say grab their testicle.
No, you just grab their hand and you basically Jackie Chan them back and forth and, like, whisk them around with the chopsticks. And I really want to do it, but I haven't gotten the chance to yet.
Dude, what's crazy about that game is, like, Kiryu kicks the shit out of people, but they're, like, at least in Kiwami, if you had a knife in your hand and you did a heat move, dude would literally, like, you would shake the dude in the stomach and just, like, basically give him, like, a harakiri yourself. Well, like,
dude, have you done a heat move on someone yet in 6 with a knife?
No.
You stab him in the gut, like, straight up into the diaphragm, and like, it's a real hard stab. And then you knee the knife further into them.
Oh, good lord!
You guys sound like some sociopaths here.
I'm saying that, like, it's crazy because you go from, like, yeah, I'm just gonna, like, knock this dude out to, like Batman type shit, and to, like, oh, I'm just gonna full on murder this guy.
Yeah,
like,
I'm going to
suplex
a bike onto him.
Yeah,
basically.
That's always my favorite. Like, you can beat the shit out of a dude with a traffic cone, like,
yeah, or like random signs you find around Kamurocho.
Yeah, and then you just charge into a crowd of people and knock them all out. It's so ridiculous.
What a game!
It's really great.
Let me ask. I have questions. Is it living up to and building upon the legacy? Because this is what, the 6th, 7th, 8th Yakuza game.
Yeah, so they kind of marketed it as, like, so it's Kiryu Kazuma's, like, final game. It's like his last hurrah. Like, this is the last Yakuza game that's going to follow Kiryu.
That's the main character.
Yeah, that's the main character.
Was he even in 0?
Yeah, that was like his origin story.
So he's the Kratos, basically, of the series.
Basically, yeah. So they're gonna this is like his send off. This game, this is gonna be like his final chapter. I really hope it doesn't do the cliche thing where they're gonna kill him off. I mean, it would kind of make sense within the context of this world, but I hope it's not that. I kind of hope it's more of a happily ever after thing in some ways.
This was long delayed, I heard as well.
What, this game?
Yeah.
It was delayed for a month. It was supposed to come out stateside last month. It's been out in Japan for a while, though.
It was the localization that delayed it, not like the actual development of the game.
Gotcha.
Right.
Okay.
Right. But yeah. That's pretty much like the gist of, like, the story. There's so much to the story, though, like, leading up to the moments that happen in this game. It's ridiculous. How, like, I was just explaining, like, what happened in 0 and Kiwami to my roommate, and he's like, holy shit, this is a lot. Like, it's a lot of information.
I mean, I'll say, though, I don't feel overwhelmed. Like, I didn't play all those past games. Like, I just read the synopses of them, like, quickly, and I don't feel overwhelmed. I don't feel like I don't get the story or anything like that.
Right. And I thought it was really cool how everyone refers to Kiryu as like, even though he was only the chairman for like a short second, they're like, oh, it's the fourth chairman of the Tojo clan. Like,
Dojima no Ryu.
Yeah. And of course, he's known as the Dragon of Dojima of Yakuza legend. But, yeah.
Like, I love how he's just a legendary Yakuza. I think that's
and
really
he's
cool.
like, whatever. Like, I just want to like go run my orphanage, guys. Leave me alone.
He just wants to be a family man.
Yeah, he does.
Wants to go home and be a family man.
What a game.
Yeah. And just one final thing I want to say about this game. Side quests are worth it. Like, just do all of them because they're so good. Like, I mean, these are just minor spoilers about side quests that don't really matter, but like, I was just going up some stairs, and then like this girl was about to fall down the stairs, and this guy tackles her to like brace his body onto her to like, you know, mitigate the damage on her. And then when they land at the bottom and they both get up, they've Freaky Friday'd and switched bodies.
What?
Yeah. And in another side quest, a girl just runs up to me and is like, "What year is it? I need to know what year it is." And you're like, "It's 2016." And she's like, "It worked."
That reminds me, have you guys seen that video where, you know, the rapper Little Dicky and Chris Brown switch bodies?
No, I don't know that video.
No.
Okay, it's honestly one of the funniest hip hop videos I've seen in years. So, anyways, just remind me of that.
Most of Lil Dicky's videos are very funny. I'd recommend all of them.
Yeah, no, you need to see his latest one. It's really crazy.
Okay. Jack, have you been playing anything?
Yeah, I have been on the retribution tip in Overwatch, son.
What? You've been playing Overwatch?
Yes, I've been playing Overwatch lightly, right? I'm not playing many games, but what?
You didn't hit either of us up?
I mean, I wasn't, like I said, I was just merely dipping a nary a toe back in the Overwatch waters. And, you know, I was only on there for an hour. I'm like, well, fuck it. I'll get these free boxes. Like, right. So I went in there. I never did Retribution last year, but I remember there were a bunch of skins that I wanted that I didn't get, namely the Orisa skin. So I'm like, well, let's go back in here. Let's check this out. I played, and what's cool is it's like a different scenario this year, but you can also go back and play last year's scenario too if you want to.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was like, oh, good. I guess I can go back and see what I missed. And it's fine. But it's very short. It's like basically Terrorist Hunt. If you guys ever played Rainbow Six Siege, it's like a single player kind of game, but it's co-op 4 players, and they only let you pick 4. Yeah, they only let you pick 4 characters. It's not. There's a mode where you can be any hero, but the game's way too easy for any hero. So to make it interesting, you can only be Genji,
Widowmaker,
McCree. No, not. Oh yeah, Widowmaker. Yeah, and Moira. Those are the 4 that you have to be, and you can't double up. Like, you have to pick one of those 4, and if it's taken, then you have to, switch to somebody else.
Wait, I thought Reaper was in it too.
I'm sorry, it's not Widowmaker, it's Reaper. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's McCree, Reaper, exactly, yeah. And so it was fun, but it's super short, and I thought it was pretty easy. But it's kind of like a level in Left 4 Dead in a way, But it was just like, whatever. It was like here and there, and like no big deal. It didn't seem like a giant, big, massive event. Kind of even like the Halloween event is pretty cool. And even like the Christmas event is pretty cool. This is, it's different, but it wasn't enough to hold my attention. The new skins are really cool though. But it, like you were saying, we were talking about this earlier in the week. It's just Overwatch is kind of like sunsetting in a way. I don't know what it is. I mean, I'll tell you what though. Hearing in the news, and we'll jump to this later, but hearing in the news like all the bullshit that's going on in the Overwatch league, I think is actually damaging to the brand.
Yeah, I agree.
Like hearing all the bullshit, all the racism, all the fucking toxicity in the community, and then having that attached to the Overwatch Professional League, I really think it's hurting the brand more than helping.
And I mean, also it doesn't help that there's no Overwatch Battle Royale, and every game needs to have a Battle Royale to be successful now. More on that in the news.
Yeah, so I played a little bit of that. Like I said, I just wanted to check it out, see what it was. I played all the modes to get all the free boxes, and if you guys want to go in after the show, I'll play some more. It's fun, but there's no reason for me to like live, eat, and breathe Overwatch like I have in the past really right now.
Yeah, I get that.
Almost a year ago, was it that you guys couldn't shut up about Overwatch?
That's true.
I was. That is still to this day probably now my favorite first-person multiplayer game of all time, more than any of the Call of Duties. And I got into Call of Duty in a big way, but I've never played a competitive online multiplayer shooter as much and as often and as seriously as Overwatch. So it'll always have that spot in my heart, I guess.
And I mean, I get it. Overwatch is a fun game. I just don't like. I never got into it competitively, so I didn't have the long-term hook.
Right.
Overwatch, more like overrated. Oh, because no one ever made that joke before.
Got him. Wow, I'm so proud of
That's
you.
so
Colin.
bad.
I'm
Yeah,
so proud of
Colin.
you. You did a good job.
Yeah.
This is why
Smart
we
guy.
keep you on the show.
All right.
All right.
Well, that was my deed for the day. I'll catch you later, guys. See you. Bye.
Hey, get back here because we still have a lot of news to talk about. Let's start off with something kind of big. Something that I know Colin's been looking forward to for like forever. Shenmue 1 and 2 are getting an HD remaster.
Yes.
And it's coming to PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC for $30.
Holy crap.
Yeah, Shenmue's sitting there watching my bank account because they knew that I just recently bought the games for Dreamcast and Xbox. It's bastards.
That was what they were waiting for. They were like, hey,
Like-
there's this dumb white kid named Colin Sparling.
Like
wait
the
for
old, like you
him
bought
to
the
buy
old
it.
school versions, like the originals.
Yeah. Like, wait for him to
Yep.
buy it, and then we release the news.
Dude, Shenmue for Dreamcast was up there in price a few years back. It was like $50, I remember.
Yeah, I think I
Going
bought
up
my
there.
copy for 30, 35.
Yeah, man. And it's just so crazy that Shenmue still is a thing because it was such a monumental failure of a game when it came out. It was like, it took forever, took like 10 years or something stupid like that, maybe even more. It was way, way, way over budget, and it was only coming out on the Dreamcast as the Dreamcast was waning in popularity in North America, and shortly before they completely went out of business. But I'll always remember there was 3 days where I was out of a job. I was in between jobs, and I was on severance pay for like a week or two, and I got Shenmue. And I just sat there and like 8 hours a day, I played it for 3 days straight and just beat it in 3 days. I'll never forget all those hours play on the forklift, moving boxes on the pier.
Oh my god.
It is
Dude.
looking for sailors.
I will say, like, I am so more. The thing that excites me the most about this remastered version, though, or is it a remake or remastered? I'm pretty sure it's remastered.
Oh, it's just remastered.
It's not. There's not new graphics. Like, I mean, it's
yeah,
just
it's just an
Yeah,
upscale.
up-res,
Okay,
yeah.
but yeah, and plus the frame rate was never an issue.
right. Well, I'm excited about them improving the controls because I don't know if you've played it recently. I have. The controls are awful.
Yeah, by the way,
terrible.
it's a game that sucks to play. So let's just all take a step back and remember that Shenmue is not fun to play.
But Shenmue's a big deal, man.
I mean,
It's a big deal.
It's not that it's a bad game. Like I play it like it's like kind of in a way watching The Room.
Colin, it's kind of a bad game. It's not very good. I want to like
don't know.
it. You know what you could do? You could go to a fucking arcade and play like Super Hang On. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
you
Like
can.
like
Super
the
Hang
old
On
Sega
and-
games.
Act or not act. Why was I thinking ActRaiser? What was the shooting
Golden
game?
Axe,
No,
Super Thunderblade,
Fantasy Zone.
no.
I can't remember.
Guys, you guys are right there. It's
Ultra
gosh,
Beast.
it's like 3D parallax scrolling and like you're scrolling forward, but it's like over the shoulder perspective. You can like move
Viewpoint?
it all over the front of the screen. What?
Viewpoint.
No, it's
I don't know.
dude. It's so much more popular than
I've
that.
got none.
Is it Blaster
Super
Master?
Harrier, Super Harrier,
Space Harrier.
Space Harrier. Yep,
Yes.
Space Harrier. Yep,
Space
yep.
Harrier.
I remember now.
Yes.
Dude.
Yeah,
okay.
that game is great.
That was the coolest part about it. And also, let's not forget the dragon jacket. Come on now, or the tiger jacket.
Oh, while we're on Sega and all that stuff, Yakuza 6, Robert, did you notice they have a fucking fully playable version of Virtua Fighter 5?
what?
Yeah, they also have Puyo Puyo and like Fantasy Zone. They've got all kinds of classic Sega games.
Shut
on there.
up! They have an arcade you can go to and play games like the
They
full
have
versions.
multiple arcades you can go to.
Yeah. You walk in this arcade, dude, and I'm like, I saw Virtua Fighter. I'm like, oh, well, okay. I don't know if you can actually, you can interact with it, and it's a full-blown version of Virtua Fighter 5. Like character selection, multiple
Is
costumes.
there loading and stuff?
Yes.
Oh my gosh!
Like,
so
it-
does it go to
it's-
like does it go like over the shoulder of your character to see it, or does it
No,
like
no.
like,
It's
change
full screen. Like you couldn't tell the difference if someone was playing the actual game or not.
oh
like,
my gosh!
It's pretty cool. It's kind of like the
Yeah.
Crash Bandicoot section in Uncharted 4.
Whoa.
kind of, but it'll even more fleshed out than that. Like, yeah.
Is
It's
there any
crazy.
games in Yakuza 0? Anything
Yeah,
like that?
you can play what was the one we were just talking about? Space Harrier. Obviously it takes place in the 80s, so it's like the older games.
Oh, it's all great news.
Yeah. Yeah, that one, and I can't remember if you can play another one or not. Maybe Super Hang On.
Awesome.
But yeah, bringing it back to Shenmue, I think it was like a matter of time that this was going to happen, especially with Shenmue 3 being a successful Kickstarter and coming out soon, TM.
Right. Well, they said they had to push back the release of Shenmue 3 for this remaster.
Right.
By a little bit. Yeah. So.
Oh, I'm sure they are just so mad about having more time. So.
But something else that's coming out pretty soon on 420, God of War, dude. Guys, have you seen the review scores for this game?
Boy,
they came out a week before the release, so last Friday, which is basically, Sony Santa Monica being like, hi, we have a gigantic wang and we're not afraid to show it.
Yeah, like Corey Barlog's like, yeah, I mean, I think the game's going to be pretty good. I'm pretty excited. It comes out like 10 on Polygon, 10 on IGN, modern masterpiece, kind of funny, like just...
And
everything.
How many times are we going to have to listen to the heads of Microsoft congratulate Sony on a game coming out and it being awesome?
Yeah, Phil Spencer's like congratulations, Sony Santa Monica, for the release of God of War.
It's like the equinox, the solstice, you know what I mean?
But I mean, you can't blame them. Right?
Like every time Sony does this, Microsoft's like, congrats, we suck.
Well, it's because Sony invests in their single-player games. Like last year, they didn't have that many coming out, but this year they've got us with Yakuza, they've got us with God of War. They'll eventually get us with Detroit Become Human, which won't be as big of a deal probably, but that's still one. And then like Spider-Man later this year. You know what I mean? Like this year is a year to own a PS4.
I feel like a broken record here, and I'm not trying to stay off or get off topic, but are there Xbox games coming out this year that are unique first-party games?
So
Sea of Thieves.
It came and went, and
Yep.
Sucks.
So I wanna go out on a limb and put a little bit of faith in Xbox, because Phil Spencer's saying that this is going to be the biggest E3 they've ever had, and they don't. I don't know if Microsoft really says hypes things up like that.
Here's what sucks. Okay, there was, I think it was E3 2014. No, maybe even 2015. It was recent, right? And if you go back and watch Microsoft's E3 presentation, it was massive. And I think we even talked, or maybe not me and you, Colin, but me and Robert might have talked about it. It was like nothing but games. It was the year they announced Phantom Dust and all that, and Spellbound. Is that what that game was called?
That one game, that platinum game that got canceled?
Dragon headphone game.
Scalebound.
Yeah.
Scalebound.
So, anyways, it was that year, whatever year that was. Check the Wikipedia
yeah, you're right.
page.
E3 2014 sounds right, because 2013 was the disaster.
But if you go through that conference, top to bottom, Microsoft, they came out with like 5% of the games they announced there, and the rest got canceled or pushed off or whatever the case may be. But it's like one of the most depressing things to go back and look at. It's like a thing now to go back and look at that. So forgive me if I'm not gonna give lip service to them saying like this. Like, you know what? Like, proof is in the pudding. Like, you can show me all the great games you want to. You've already done it before, and now look where we are. There's going to be a case study, if they're not already, for like marketing and PR advertising firms on like how you can fuck up a console generation as badly as Microsoft has with the Xbox One. It is like almost unprecedented. I don't know, man. It's almost like almost like a GameCube levels of going from from the top of the game to the bottom of the game so quickly.
You know what? I definitely understand and respect your criticism, Jack. And the thing that with me is like, as much as I do love PlayStation, like I'll be the first to admit that I'm a bit of a PlayStation fanboy. At the end of the day, I love video games. I just go where the good games are. You know what I mean? That's why I own multiple platforms. I like to play good games. That's just the gist of it. And
right.
I believe in healthy competition for this industry. You know what I mean? And I really do want Microsoft with Xbox to come out swinging this year at E3. Like, I want, if Phil Spencer says they're going to have a good E3, I hope they do, And to reference, Ryan McCaffrey was talking to Phil Spencer on Twitter, actually, about how they're going about their business plan for Microsoft and Xbox, and Phil Spencer says it's a very, very slow process, because Phil Spencer came into a dynasty of shit over there at Xbox, dude. Like, the place was in flames when Phil Spencer took over, and he's done it the best as he can, dude. Like, I don't know what else he could have done filling Don Matrick's shoes after he'd basically fucked the chicken with Xbox.
Yeah, I still feel like
we're
we're waiting for the fruits to bear, though, right? Like we're still waiting for.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and I think Phil Spencer's even frustrated by that at this point. Like
Sea of Thieves is not what they were hoping for it to be as far as quality.
Yeah, and I know people are talking about like Crackdown 3 better have a battle royale mode.
Bro,
like
I'm sick of Crackdown 3. Here's the thing, okay, about Microsoft E3, okay? There are 3 ways they can make me puke in my mouth, okay?
Wasn't that game supposed to come out in March?
And now I got
Who
delayed to
knows
hell and
anymore?
back again.
Is it even like a 2018 joint at this point?
Who knows?
But okay, I was saying there are 3 things that they could do at E3 this year that are going to make me throw up, okay? The first thing is they're going to announce a new Halo game. I will puke and die. If they also announce a new Gears of War game, I will also puke and die. And if they announce another Forza game, which they're going to do, I'm just going to roll my eyes like, what the fuck is this? Like,
dude, they're turning into Ubisoft.
All 3 of those things are going to really suck. And I'm almost guaranteeing at least one of those, if not 2 of those. And if they do all 3, holy shit, I just throw my hands up and I'm out the room.
Yeah, I mean, let's hope they really bring it though. I'm kind of excited though. I'm cautiously optimistic about their press conference.
They need
to
show something because we've been talking about this. Like, I want a solid excuse to get an Xbox One X. I want it. I want to buy it.
I want to see something that's unique on the level of like Detroit Become Human, or like even the new Insomniac Spider-Man game, because like those, you don't expect them, or at least you didn't expect them when they were being announced. They're not part of a franchise. Right, they're not like The Last of Us 2 or like God of War 4 technically, right?
Technically. Technically.
Final Fantasy 15 is on Xbox One, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, at the end of the day, though, like, who does Xbox have in their corner in terms of second and third party developers? You know what I mean?
I can't. Rare.
Yeah, I guess Rare, but I mean,
yeah, they have Rare and they have Epic Games to a degree. Not really much anymore.
No,
they don't even have Bungie or Bungie in their
Bungie.
Sorry, Bungie's where my dad used to work. Bungie, and they don't even have them in their corner because they're over here doing Destiny, and they're like, yeah, Destiny is best played on PS4 and blah blah blah.
Actually, best played on PC.
Destiny's like dead now because no one cares about it.
Well, yeah,
Destiny
because they went and screwed the chicken on the community there too. It's terrible. But I don't know. Like, it's just I hope that Microsoft has been pulling some big power moves behind closed doors, and that's what their huge announcement is. Like, I hope they come out swinging with like, oh yeah, we got this exclusive game from this developer, because the fact that like PS4's got a double whammy right now with Insomniac Games developing a fucking Spider-Man game in the midst of the Marvel, cinematic universe being huge right now.
Also, we're on the eve of them potentially dropping Game of the Year. Like, it's less than 48 hours as of the time we're recording this, where this might be the game of the year.
Yeah, like
God of War.
Yeah, and it's so. I mean, the thing is, like, we already have an inkling knowing that this Insomniac Spider-Man game is going to be solid because of Sunset Overdrive, because Sunset Overdrive was so, like, the locomotion and just it's a lot of the same design philosophies. So I think Sony's really confident about how the Spider-Man games is going to do. Yeah, so I don't know, man. It's just I want Microsoft and Xbox to do something. I want them to come back with a fighting chance against PlayStation 4. That way we see that competition keep happening, so both of them keep putting out good games. Like,
something I just realized, because we as a group have talked a lot, both on and off air, about Microsoft versus Sony this year, this season, this generation.
Sure.
And every time we talk about Sony, not only is it like, oh, they've got these great games coming in the pipeline, but there's always like a roadmap of what's after that. Because I was just thinking, after this year, after Spider-Man, there's still The Last of Us Part 2 at some point, and there's still Days Gone, which I'm personally not that excited about, but like, that's definitely like, we know that's coming. Whereas with Microsoft, it's kind of like
Death Stranding,
that too.
Kojima, they have Kojima.
Wait, they have Stranding. Hold on, that is PS5 exclusive, isn't it?
Yeah, Kojima Productions is under Sony. Yeah.
So
holy shit, and PC probably.
Who knows?
Maybe.
But nonetheless, like, we know what's coming, like, further down the line with Sony.
Right.
With Microsoft, we don't even know what's going to happen further down this year. Right? Like, all we know is Crackdown 3, maybe. probably Forza because that's a good bet in general.
And my whole point is too, like, let's say, Colin, you're right, and they come out with like a bomb ass baller E3 that everyone can't stop talking about. There's still very good reason to believe, because they have no credibility, that none of those games are actually going to see light of day.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Sad times, man.
Get your water cooler in check, Phil.
I mean, I hope Phil comes out and he's like, look, guys, like, let's get down to business. We got some shit to
defeat
talk about.
the Huns.
You know what it is? I mean, it has nothing to do with video games, but Microsoft is seeing so much money in like their cloud business that it probably makes the Xbox division of Microsoft like why do we even care? Like, this is a cost center at this point, not even a profit center, you know?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. And it's not like and surprisingly, even without like all the games set up for the future and things like that, Xbox is not doing bad numbers by any means.
That being said, I don't want to say, throw the baby out with the bathwater, but yeah, the Xbox One X I heard is selling well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Xbox One X is picking up momentum, and the overall numbers for the Xbox One, all things considered, is not bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's still like they're definitely not like hurting over there at Microsoft because of the Xbox. But like it would help them so much more. And I mean, it's still up in the air to me whether or not, making Xbox play anywhere on the PC was a good idea. You know what I mean? I mean, even though Windows 10 is their platform. Windows 10 is their platform. So I guess in a way they're still making money, but you're definitely not going to be pushing hardware like that.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, Windows 10 is a lot cheaper to manufacture than hardware, right?
Right. I mean, I don't know. I guess if you do the math, it's like $120 for an install of Windows 10.
Yeah,
but it's not costing you anything. I don't
know. So let's see some other news that happened in the past week. Clifford Blazinski has accused Epic of stealing some of his staff members.
Yes, he has.
After the release of Radical Heights.
What a way to stay in the news cycle, Cliffy B. Congrats. Well on you, man. Just bitch on Twitter.
I don't know. That's just wild to me. Like, for one, look, I wouldn't play Radical Heights and look at that and think, "Ooh, I need to hire those devs." Like, you know what I mean?
I mean, we've said it before. There's some talent that went into Lawbreakers. Like, there's some good programming going on over there. So I don't know which, roles of employees got poached, but it's funny that his old big company, a Big Brother, what have you, would poach someone that went and broke off and did their own thing. It's just kind of shady, right? It's kind of shady on Epic's part in a way. Like, there's so many people making video games out there. You have to go to this company to poach.
But I mean, right. Also consider like being one of those devs at Bosky, right? Like, you're like, imagine your shoes, right? Like, you get a letter in the mail. It's post stamped Epic Games, and they're like, "Hi, we'd like to hire you." Like, that's like your get out of jail free card right there. Because like, what's your future at Bosky right now? Like, no offense, but like, Radical Heights is gonna need a lot of miracles,
right,
for it to be so successful that like it's gonna go somewhere.
Right. And I definitely don't like. Gosh, I just don't want this to be a repeat of the one situation that happened with the 2 Human and Eternal Darkness dev. I can't remember their name.
I don't even remember.
They ended up getting sued by
Silicon
Epic Games.
Knights?
Yes, they ended up getting sued by Epic Games for basically calling some code from the Unreal Engine their own.
Dude, that was like such a sloppy.
Yeah, it was not pretty.
Ooh.
It was messy as hell. But like. Yeah, I definitely don't want to see like a similar situation happen here, because that would just be terrible.
Right.
Yeah.
If you're looking forward to playing Dark Souls on May 25th and your only console is the Switch,
I can't wait.
You're not going to get it on the Switch.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Why not?
It's getting delayed. Only the Switch version's getting delayed. So if you're on your PS4, your Xbox One, or your PC, you're good. You're fine. Just May 25th, you're good. But Switch, rip.
God, that's gonna shoot Switch sales right in the foot.
That is such a blow, and that is such a damnification of the technology.
A little bit,
behind Switch.
Because I mean, keep in mind, Dark Souls is like old now, right? Like that was
kind of old games. Yeah, it's old
early
games now.
PS3 360 generation.
No, not early.
Mid.
Like 7 years ago, 2011.
Right, but I mean, like, you'd think that at this point, like, if you could run Mario Odyssey on a Switch, right? Like,
well, I saw hands-on demos of the game running on Switch, and it looked fine. Like, it was running well. So I wonder what the problem is. Must be optimization in Blighttown, I bet.
Yeah, that's what everyone's looking at. Like, I think that also means that the Praise the Sun amiibo is also being pushed back to whatever day in summer.
Yeah, so like, is it TBD now? Is just there's no
summer 2018?
Oh wow, Jesus wept. Okay.
Yep, not even a date, not even a month, just a season.
Wow. Okay.
This is sad.
Yeah, this sucks because honestly, I feel like there was actually like more than one person like me who was I had this game pre-ordered on PS4 and Switch.
Damn.
Yeah, so like I'd canceled my pre-orders because Amazon, it's been screwing me, so I don't want to pre-order through Amazon anymore. But either way, like, that sucks. You know.
So I learned something with this. I didn't realize. I guess I just wasn't paying too much attention when Dark Souls is mentioned. But I thought it was just coming out on Switch. I thought it was almost a Switch exclusive, but it's coming out on everything, and it's a remade version of the original game. Is that what this is?
Remastered. I wouldn't say remake.
No, well, on the PS4 and Xbox One, it is.
Is it like whole new overhaul?
Yeah, they remade it in Dark Souls 3's engine.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, so this is a big deal. If you've never played Dark Souls, this is the definitive way. This is kind of like
and it comes with the DLC and everything.
Okay, what's it called? Shadow of the Colossus remake in a way.
Yeah.
Oh, so this is going to be nominated for the Tiny this year, then probably.
It could be. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it's running in Dark Souls 3 and Bloodborne's engine, so it's going to be looking pretty spiffy.
Oh, so I might actually have to pay attention to this.
But you don't like Dark Souls.
Yeah, I like Neo. Neo is the shit, not shit. It's the shit. And so I'm opening my horizons here. But I will not play Dragon Ball Z. That's where I draw the line.
Not even
you will not play Dragon Ball Z. You mean
an actually good fighting game?
Not even a mash-a-thon where you can't understand anything going on the screen.
Where it is the biggest game at Evo right now. More than your precious Street Fighter 5.
You know what? A lot of people voted for Donald Trump too, so
fair enough. Getting political up in here.
Yeah, okay. I'm not getting into Dragon Ball talk because I'll go on too long.
Right. So here's something that's kind of fresh, hot off the presses. It just happened earlier today. So this is kind of a two-pronged story I've got for you guys. So according to sources close to Treyarch, who have spoken with like Eurogamer and etc., Call of Duty Black Ops 4 is not going to have a single-player campaign.
Wow.
At all.
Wow.
So at all. So okay. Damn.
And this is confirmed or rumored?
Rumored.
Yeah.
Rumored. No confirmation.
Okay, well, I knew
it's
it
all
was
rumored.
Okay.
But these are like multiple people, like I think Kotaku, Eurogamer, and Polygon have separately confirmed.
Bro.
Like they didn't confirm off each other.
Okay. Ooh.
One, there's not going to be a single player campaign, and two, this is according to Charlie Intel and Eurogamer mainly, there's going to be a battle royale.
Call of Duty
Battle Royale developed, like they're farming out the development of that to Raven Software.
They had to have gotten that going so fast. Battle Royale is about a year old in terms of like critical mass, right? I mean, it's existed, but it's never been, people weren't really paying attention until PUBG last March.
God,
Holy
I don't
crap.
know how I feel about that.
I feel awesome.
Of all, I mean, okay, like what I will say when it comes to Call of Duty is they do a really good job at having very refined gameplay. Like playing Call of Duty just feels good mechanically.
I was going to say, good luck getting at 60 frames a second in a giant, island skydiving with 100 other people. Like they need to nail that.
Yeah.
So they've, according to these sources, they're aiming for trying to have 100 people in the match, but they are not as sure if they can get 100 people in this battle royale.
Yeah, stick to 50.
Yeah, I don't know about
smaller
that.
is my thought.
I also I've heard from like inklings on the internet that Ravensoft doesn't have the best track record either in terms of making solid stuff.
Dude,
I don't know how true that is. I haven't read into it.
At this point, Call of Duty doesn't have the best record.
I mean,
and they've been talking about, I don't know if you guys know this, they've been talking about splitting up the multiplayer and single player for years now, maybe even 10 years. They've been talking about it. And you know what? I am one of those few people that will sit here and say that, I'm sad that Call of Duty doesn't have a single player. That's the way I like my Call of Duty. I like playing the single player to prepare for multiplayer. But at the same time, it's been forever. I think it's been Advanced Warfare, the one on PS4. after Ghost, right? That was the last one where I played the single player. So that was a long time ago, right? How was that? 4 years ago?
I think
3 years
at
ago?
least.
Yeah. So that's the last one I played. So you know what? Like you can sit here and cry and be like, "Oh, I want my single player." That's what I'm doing. But at the same time, I'm not playing them. And that's the thing that is creepy too about like analytics, right? Like they know, like that's what when you are just going through like and agreeing to like all these terms of service and shit, you just clip through it. What you're saying is like, hey, track how far I get in these games, track what I'm clicking on, track my whole path, my whole click path there, so you can design games smarter or whatever. So what I'm saying is they know how much single player for all the Call of Duties that have come out in like the last 10 years, how much is getting played. They know where people are stopping. They know where people are getting hung up and not finishing. And like something minuscule, like 5 to 15%, I can't remember exactly, actually finish the single player game. Such a small amount compared to all the people that are playing it.
Well, yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Most of the people I know that play Call of Duty are just like, yeah, I'm just going to slap the game in the console and, straight to multiplayer.
They don't even touch the single player.
Right.
Yeah, according to those sources, they said the reason they're not doing the single player campaign is that they don't think they're going to be able to finish developing it in time for like the October release. But I'm like,
3 years.
That's some bullshit.
Is it Call of Duty on 3-year cycle?
3-year cycles now, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't care if they
dude.
bumped it back a month so they wouldn't have to face Red Dead Redemption on release. Like,
yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's weird that like, I don't know. I'm of two minds of it, right? Because like Jack said, who gives a shit? Obviously, no one's really playing the campaign. And whenever someone talks about Call of Duty, it's never about like, man, can you believe what happened in level 9 of the campaign? That was such a twist, right? Like, no, you don't hear anyone say shit
Not
like that.
really anymore.
But
like I will say Modern Warfare, the first, so Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare, and Modern Warfare 2.
Yes.
Those were the only two where I was like, shit.
yeah, Black Ops had a bomb-ass
Black
campaign,
Ops, the
too.
first Black Ops had a really interesting story, did a lot of different things. So that Black Ops 2, tried again. I got hung up on that one, though. I actually stopped in the middle of that. But, I mean, the no Russian level, the scene in Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare, where the nuke goes off, that's very memorable, and you're, like, crawling to your death. I don't know if you guys remember that. Like, that's an interesting scene. So, yeah, but it's been a long time, right? It's been 10 years since...
But this is going to be the first Call of Duty that won't have a campaign, which is crazy. I mean, the first mainline one, at least.
If the rumors are true, and we have strong reason to believe they are.
Right.
Yeah,
and
that's crazy.
On top of that, though, another bit of like rumor has been surfacing today that Battlefield 5 also is prototyping a battle royale.
Oh my god, dude! It is happening.
DICE.
It is happening now before our very eyes. It's all happening. Listen, this is what happened with Dota 2. This is what happened with League of Legends. All the MOBAs came and all the MOBAs went, and this is what's going to happen here. All the battle royals are going to come. It's going to get lame. It's going to become Facebook, right? Like soon your parents are going to be playing battle royale, and then it's not going to get cool anymore, and then it's done. That's what happens.
I mean,
these go in cycles, guys.
Oh,
we've seen this before.
Like, this isn't like, this is turning into a thing like there was a couple of people that tried to jump on the hero shooter thing, right? And that quickly, like, it went out like quick, like no one could overtake Overwatch, and no one's going to. It's just a fact of it. And now, but this battle royale thing is on a whole nother level. It's like it does not take a professional analyst to see that this is going to burst like a mofo.
And
like,
you know what though? Like Bluehole, like get your head out your Bluehole and make PUBG run on Xbox One X. Like, what is your problem? They're about to get beat to market on console by the big boys. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, they're already kind of beaten to console at this point by Fortnite, honestly.
Yeah, that game, PUBG, does not run well, even on the Xbox One X. It runs well on mobile. Colin can attest to that.
It runs decent, yeah.
It's surprisingly well, even though you're playing against bots, but still.
Right.
Like, come on, get on it, man. Because the wave is coming. It's inevitable.
Yeah, I don't understand what, like, they have the fucking money. Like, what do they need to do to get this game running? Like,
they have a ton
what are
of
they
money.
doing?
I mean, instead they're focusing on new maps, right? And like just more content rather than.
I haven't even played the new modes yet, right? There's like respawning now or something.
Yeah, there's like a TDM.
There, like, we noticed there was a problem when they dropped the desert map and it ran better than Myanmar or whatever the original map's name is.
First one.
Yeah. And like there's such a serious optimization problem, and like they have the money now. Just hire the people you need to just do it.
because
Like, get it done.
The thing is, when I'm
Damn.
thinking of like a Call of Duty or a Battlefield with Battle Royale, my worry isn't that it's going to be not optimized. You know what I mean? Like, I know it'll probably be at least decently optimized because there's a big AAA dev, right, who's making this. Whereas
Right.
in PUBG, like, my worry is, like, how fast does it run? Can it even hit 30 FPS? You know what I mean?
I mean, for Cliffy's sake, Radical Heights is like almost more optimized than PUBG is.
for Cliffy's
No
sake.
way. I don't even believe that. You're walking on water. Are you serious?
I don't
Kind
know,
of.
dude. We both played it, and it was like, it was at least as good as PUBG is.
That's hard to believe and sad, but I believe you. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're almost running out of time here. So I'm going to toss it to Jack, who has a would you rather for our question of the week.
Would you rather lose both your big toes or one thumb?
Haven't we done something like this before?
One thumb.
I've never heard this question before. You rather lose one thumb than both your big toes?
As long as it's not the one that's like dominant hand, yeah.
Yeah, it could be your whatever recessive hand.
I mean, you'd be walking off balance.
You never play soccer.
No.
No, I
mean,
mean, like
I don't know.
if you lose your big toes, you basically it's gonna be really hard to walk.
Yeah, it'd be super hard. You'd be walking weird. You wouldn't be able to like bend your knees as much.
No, yeah. I mean, I think I'd lose one thumb. It depends how much of the thumb, though. Like the whole thumb?
You probably can't game. Like you can't space bar, right, Robert? If you lose your left thumb.
I'm a lefty, so
What? Wait, what?
I'd lose my right thumb.
Oh, so you couldn't like back button on the mouse then?
Yeah, I mean, I'd have like a harder time controlling my mouse, but I feel like that's easier than like not having a space bar.
I had to hit them face buttons with the nub.
I see. It would affect my drum playing in a really bad way. So I might go big toes.
Isn't that going to affect your pedal work though a little?
I feel like I could adapt to that better than you cannot. There's way too much drumming you can't do without a thumb.
Yeah, that's true.
Way
Listen,
too much.
the drummer for Ghost Inside lost a leg. The drummer for Def Leppard lost an arm.
Yep.
Yeah,
All right.
it's got a point.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a tough one. Was that everybody? Did everybody answer?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going.
Yeah,
with
one
the
thumb. I think one thumb. Yeah, because it would be nice to be able to still walk. I mean, I think I could adapt or like get a prosthetic for
But you
playing
could
video
have
games.
you could have a excuse to wear rollerblades all the time.
So yeah, that's been our show. That's been episode 43 of the Tiny Disc Podcast. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, feedback, you can email us at tinydiscpodcast@gmail.com. You can also follow us on all of our social media channels, which you can find at tinydisc.com. That's also where you can find all of our previous episodes if you want to peruse those. If you enjoyed this episode, consider leaving us an iTunes review. That'd be really cool. It'd be helpful. It'd mean more than you know. If not, tell a friend. Or better yet, if you come home one night and you find out your SO is cheating on you, before you break up with them, tell them to go listen to the Tiny Disc Podcast and then also move out.
Wow. Dark.
So where can we find you guys online on the internet?
I am Colin Unmano on Twitter, aka booboo__55.
And I just changed my Instagram name, so I thought it was something else, but apparently it's at Mr._Cepeda on Instagram. Hit the gram up.
There you go. And you can find me at Panoptimist, PINOPTIMIST, and that's where I am on all the social medias. So thank you so much for listening to the Tiny Disc Podcast, and we'll see you next Thursday.
This show brought to you by a healthy colon.
Big grapes for the win.